AFR On Demand is brought to you by Breck Golf. Try Beaver Creek today, just 20 minutes from downtown Baton Rouge in the Zachary area. They've got a PGA Tour driving range, a short game practice area, 30 to 40-yard practice shots. It's a great place to chip and putt and practice if you don't have time for a full round. Book your tee time today, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Yes, sir. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Oh, by the way, it's a hump day. Yep.
It's hump day.
Let's hump, everybody.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Portal King.
Hump day.
Crown him.
It's hump day.
You want to crown him? Crown her ass.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
They are who we thought they were.
Hump day.
Lane Kiffin, Portal King, Doc.
It's hump day.
Husan Longstreet's a tiger.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
How in the world they pulled that off, I don't know.
Hump day.
They did.
It's hump day.
Run for it, Marty!
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Tyler Shuck's a Rookie of the Year finalist.
Hump day.
He'll get screwed.
It's hump day.
Make fun of Mickey Loomis in an hour.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Looking forward to that.
Hump day.
Bird Jaws Barry did a little one-on-one with Michael Gobble.
It's hump day.
Not good for Matt McMahon.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Let's get to it.
Hump day.
All right, lot to do. Let's get cranked up here because we got to get going. Shea Dixon in a dozen minutes. Brandon Taylor next hour. Let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
My goodness. Y'all, I genuinely don't know what feels more improbable. Landing Sam Levitt after his visit ended so badly, or adding Husan Longstreet after you added Sam Levitt. Lane Kiffin got them both. Y'all, 72 hours ago, you had 0 scholarship quarterbacks. Do you understand this? 72 hours ago, y'all were cracking jokes. Hey, man, you notice ain't 7-on-7? Where's the quarterbacks? 72 hours ago. I could go look on Twitter. I could go look at my text line. I could go look at the YouTube comments. I could go find the receipts. Y'all know who you were. Melting down, fretting over the fact that they ain't got a quarterback. And by the way, it looked bad. You had Levitt, bird in hand, you let him get away because you turned your attention to Damon Williams, and that blew up in your face. So you try to get back in the mix for Sam Levitt, and he goes and takes a trip to Miami anyway. That was unsettling. You went to the airport, you tried to woo him, he got on the plane anyway to Miami. Yeah, Miami, who this year has a transfer quarterback, got you in the Natty. Last year had a transfer quarterback that was the number 1 overall pick. Oh, did I mention they're getting ready for the Natty? It's a hell of a final pitch. And the next day, what does Sam Levitt do? Picks LSU. And oh, look, LSU wasn't done at quarterback. On Monday on this show, and Monday on Twitter, I told you that I had people within the program that were telling me that LSU was not done and that they were still trying to land Husan Longstreet. Here's the tweet 11:09 a.m. Monday, January 12th. LSU's landed 2 quarterbacks in 12 hours with Sam Leavitt, Landon Clark. They may not be done. Multiple sources confirm LSU's pushing to add Husan Longstreet to the group. Former USC 5-star visited LSU over the weekend. Worth watching. I said it was worth watching. I didn't believe it was going to happen. Why in the world would Husan Longstreet, a 5-star who just sat at USC with an incumbent coming back, why would he go to a spot where you just paid over $5 million from a veteran player in the transfer portal at quarterback? Doesn't make a lot of sense when Miami, by the way, desperate for a quarterback because Carson Beck's out of eligibility. They don't have anybody. Yet here you are. Y'all, Lane Kiffin is the self-proclaimed portal king. Crown him. Crown him. Now, it don't mean they're going to win a championship in the fall. He's still got to take all these pieces, mold it into a finished product, and coach it up on football Saturdays. But for everyone from the moment Lane Kiffin was hired who asked me what's a realistic expectation for year one, I told you, you're paying this man $90 million, and in an era where Kurt Signetti can go to Indiana and get them in the playoff back-to-back years and the number one team in the country and a 2-score favorite in the national championship game, yeah, Lane Kiffin coming to Baton Rouge with the resources he's going to have at LSU better be ready to compete year one. And now you look at this roster, how can you argue against that? Y'all, let me put this into perspective for you. How massive this turnaround is, okay? On Sunday, you had no scholarship quarterbacks. Sam Leavitt's visiting Miami. Landon Clark picks you over Michigan. I mean, it's LSU, Michigan. Kentucky and James Madison were in there as well, but he picks you. Great, you got one. Then you get Sam Leavitt over Miami and Tennessee. Both programs with money to spend, both without incumbents. And then after getting Leavitt, you now add Husan Longstreet as well. And you have the most stability at quarterback now that you've had since the day before Bryce Underwood flipped. Now, I don't mean to bring you back to that spot emotionally and mentally, but go there with me if you will and understand. In that moment, what we had been talking about was, okay, you got Garrett Nussmeier ready, and then after Nussmeier, it's Bryce Underwood, and then after Bryce Underwood, it's Elijah Haven. We're sitting there going, man, you go boom, 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 boom. 5 stars that are taking you through 2029. That's what we were planning out. Underwood flips. You don't get a quarterback for 25. He impacted the 26 class because none of the 26 kids were looking at LSU to be behind Underwood. So you go 2 years without signing a quarterback. Do you realize, for everyone sort of lamenting the fact that all these quarterbacks left LSU, if the status quo had held, do you realize what your quarterback room would look like right now? Michael Van Buren, Colin Hurley, Jawan Johnson. Instead, your quarterback room is Sam Leavitt, Husan Longstreet, and Landon Clark. I mean, it's incredible. It's an undeniable win. And for the first time since Bryce Underwood flipped, you feel incredible about your quarterback situation because you go into this year now with Sam Leavitt. If there's anything not right with the list, Frank, that limits him, okay, Longstreet is going to get all the first-team reps in spring and could very well be your guy with a tremendous upside, ceiling, physical ability, potential, all this. There's a video I saw on Twitter, him throwing the ball 78 yards. He's a freak show. Hasn't played, but a physical freak show. And you got him for he's got 4 years of eligibility. Now, will he stay 4 years? I don't know. But he's got 4 years of eligibility. So Leavitt with 2 years, Longstreet with 4 years, and then Landon Clark as well has 3 years of eligibility remaining. And You've got Peyton Houston committed for the class of 2027. You have, in 72 hours, built the most stable quarterback situation that LSU has had. I don't know. Since Matt Flynn and Jamarcus were freshmen on the team, where Matt Malk was a senior, and you had Marcus Rand. Like, is that long ago? Didn't you have this much talent in the quarterback room? It's insane. That's why you brought Lane Kiffin here, man. It's why you paid him $91 million. It's why you gave him everything he wanted for his staff. It's why you let him pay Charlie Weiss $2.5 million. It's why Blake Baker's making $3 million a year. It's why he's got seemingly unlimited funds for rev share and third-party NIL. It's because of this. Look at what he's done. You've retained the top 6 guys on your roster you wanted to retain. You've got the number 1 portal class in the country by a giant margin. You've added 30 players via the portal. You're going to add a couple of more offensive linemen. You've got the number 1 player, number 1 quarterback in the portal. This is why you went and got him. He's got to win. He's got to win, and he hasn't done that. He's got to go win. But he is, to this point, built a roster and done the things that you anticipated he would do when you hired him. Can he win in the fall? He's got to have the roster to do it. All right, it's After Further Review. Show Up and Every Day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with a great taste of Bud Light. Official beer of AFR. Official beer of your Fighting Tigers of LSU. Man, raise an ice-cold Bud Light tonight. Husan Longstreet is an LSU Tiger. Portal King, roaming Baton Rouge right now, man, sitting on his throne. We all drink to that. Make sure you raise an ice-cold Bud Light, the official beer of the LSU Tigers. All right, Shea Dixon's going to join us next. We'll get some reaction to the Longstreet news and what else LSU is still targeting, who else LSU is still targeting. And, by the way, the Tigers picked up a high school commit for the 2026 class. It'll be a February signee. We'll have Shea tell you about him when we come back. It's AFR.
AFR.
REV, Let's Rev. Let'sRev.com, Let'sRev.com. REV, Let'sRev.com. Rev is local, y'all. 90 years here in the local market. We're talking internet, cable, home automation, all of it. REV. Go to Let'sRev.com, Let'sRev.com. Love telling you about Rev because I love telling you about great local companies that do awesome work, and they give you great customer service as well. If you have ever thought to yourself, my internet company, so slow, always goes out. You got to ditch that forever, man. It's time. It's time to call Rev. It's time to switch. REV. Go to Let'sRev.com, Let'sRev.com, and experience the difference in why 70,000 of your friends and neighbors and business owners in South Louisiana trust Rev. REV. Let'sRev.com.
After Further Review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
We missed Shea Dixon yesterday. He's good enough to hang out with us for a bit today. Shady, how are you, man?
I'm doing well. This is the best to take people behind the scenes. Matt and Moose and the crew often do a video link in. And with Verizon's crash today, all I could think of was the only people I'll talk to on the phone today will be Moscona because they'll send me an actual video link.
How about it?
Good thing.
There it is, man. Where there's a will, there's a way, Shea. Here in the year of our Lord 2026. We're just going to make it happen. That's what's going to work. Okay. I can say the same about Lane Kiffin. My goodness. Husan Longstreet after landing Sam Levin and Landon Clark. Give me your reaction and how they were able to get this done.
I think every other college coach is on Verizon and he's on AT&T.
Yeah.
That's got to be it. He's out here just making calls nonstop and everyone else is just wondering what's happening. Look, you had mentioned this, right? That they were still going after Longstreet in the wake of landing Landon Clark, who was on your show earlier this week. And then you get Sam Levitt, the number 1 portal quarterback, and did so kind of after a roller coaster ride He went through the visit, and then the news broke of Devon Williams at Washington maybe going into the portal, and then Levitt adds a Tennessee visit, and then Lane flies to Knoxville, and then he goes from there to Miami, and it was like, okay, well, if he didn't shut things down and he's still going to Miami, it's probably done. And then he goes home, and bang, all of a sudden it's, look, LSU is trending for him, and they land him. And we had both said, hey, look, they're still going after Longstreet. And I even put myself, hey, look, in Longstreet's shoes, he's probably got other options, right? I mean, this is a kid who's playing at Southern Cal. When he came out, there was a lot of buzz around Oregon. Dante Moore today as well decides to come back to Oregon after they landed Dylan Raiola. So that picture really didn't become more clear than LSU's would have. And they were able to pull this off. So kudos to Kiffin, kudos to Charlie Weiss, Dane Stevens, the QB coach. I mean, this is kind of an all hands on deck approach, is what his dad said to Steve Wiltfong over the weekend. They were hanging with old staff members like Jeff Martin at the basketball game. They were hanging out with new staff members like Lane and the guys I just mentioned, and really sold them on, hey, you're coming in to compete. I mean, we do know that Levitt is coming off an injury. Whatever limitations he has in the spring will allow for these guys like Clark and Longstreet to get more reps in spring ball. And then, look, you're going to have a fall camp with 3 quarterbacks who all had offers. Don't get it confused. Landon Clark had offers from Michigan and other schools to go there from the FCS level, and ends up at LSU. You get a former 5-star in Longstreet, and you get a guy who, prior to his injury, Matt, remember the Levitt run to the playoffs with Scatterbo? That team was picked to finish dead last in the Big 12. They won the Big 12 and got a bye and went to the playoffs. So now you've got all 3 of those guys in your quarterback room. And what is today? Wednesday? 4 days ago, they had 0 scholarship quarterbacks on roster. And now they've got, I don't know, arguably the best quarterback room in the country, at least far better than where they have been in recent years, in my opinion.
I mean, 72 hours ago, Shea. 72 hours ago, Sunday at 3:20. Landon Clark didn't commit till Sunday night. It's unbelievable. The other big name everyone's asking about is Jordan Seaton. Shea, I haven't seen yet a credible report that he's coming on a visit. I just don't know. Have you heard anything about LSU's potential interest there in the big tackle from Colorado?
I think that I know from speaking to people that they've reached out, but at the same time, this is a guy who, as you said, it hasn't been reported that he's going to make a visit to LSU or anything like that. Seaton he was a big-time player coming out of high school. It made a lot of waves when he landed at Colorado. So coming out now, it's even more so at this point when people are really desperate for a lineman, he is going to be the top name out there. And I lean on NACOs for national guys like this. And I've asked him a few times, and he said, look, it's Oregon and Texas. Those are the schools to watch. Florida could come into play. He had mentioned A&M not being a contender at this point, but did line up LSU with Miami, Texas Tech, some others who are obviously big spenders right now and still need a lineman. But I would put them behind Oregon and Texas, at least going off of everything that Nikos has heard, and he's kind of been tied into that recruitment back to when he landed at Colorado. So we'll monitor it. The other one would obviously be, and look, we know they need a lineman, but Sean Tompkins, who offensive tackle out of Baylor, committed to North Carolina, didn't sign, and now he's told On3 he's going to visit on Thursday. I know you guys reported that as well, I believe. So what is it? Today's Wednesday. I don't know my portal days. But tomorrow we're in a Monday to Wednesday dead period here, which didn't feel dead at all.
Right.
It brought nothing but news. But yes, Tompkins again committed in North Carolina, 6'6", 300+ pounds, coming out of Newton, which is a school that LSU signed kids out of in Georgia before and been heavily recruiting kids before. But now I'd kind of, what do I know? Look, they just landed Longstreet. I thought that was a long shot.
Yeah.
So maybe Seaton does come into play. But I think that I'm looking at a guy like Sean Tompkins who has not signed yet, even though he did commit, as someone who you kind of really hone in on and say, all right, if they need experienced guys, he played in 10 games this past year. He logged nearly 500 snaps at that tackle spot. Like, that is real experience coming from a school like Baylor.
All right, Shea Dixon's with us. He's on Twitter at Shea Dixon, On3, the Bengal Tiger. Any idea, Shea, what else? Because one thing is clear, they're not done. And I was told they still want to add a couple of more offensive linemen. We've mentioned a few here. Anything else that could be percolating out there?
I've heard linebacker. They've talked about adding more to the tight end room. I really do feel like O-line is one that you really had to address. And clearly, they've done that at quarterback already. And you look at the O-linemen they've added, and I don't know how they view each of these guys, right? Like, what specific spot they are. They're all coming with kind of different levels of experience. So going after a guy like we just talked about out of Baylor in Tompkins is someone who has proven experience. And you're getting Weston Davis back. You're getting Braylon Moore back. So you've got pieces who you've started already. Like, if we're in a world where Weston Davis is starting again, you need 3 more starters. And it feels like they can inch themselves closer to that here in the final days of the portal being open. Running back they've addressed. I mean, I can't count out receiver. They've added 15 of them at this point. They're coming from every level. So it seems each time I look up, it's one of them. I found the interesting thing to be that they've gone high school recruiting at DB. And now Jackson Williams, who helped lead Shaw to back-to-back state title games, is going to make an official visit this weekend. Look, he's been committed to Tulane. He was once committed to Washington State. That sort of fell apart. Committed to Tulane with when they had those staff changes, and now he got an LSU offer this week. So, kind of keeping an eye on what Jake Olson and Corey Raymond are doing there, because it's not the first guy that they've added now from the high school level, or at least will push to add. I expect that, being a Louisiana kid, that now that he's got that offer, he would likely take the visit and land in the class. But we're keeping an eye on it. Again, I didn't expect many guys. I completely forget about February signing day. So when guys are popping up and grabbing offers who are still in this 2026 class, it makes it intriguing. And they've already got a JUCO lineman, and they've added some FCS players, including a quarterback. So I guess you're hitting on every single level of this, even high school, when we thought high school would be done.
Yeah. The other one, Shea, you fill in the blanks here for me, but they got a commitment from Amari Peterson. Help me out here.
Yeah, this is one I did not have much, knowledge about going into things, because he wasn't a Louisiana or border state kid. He's out of Orlando, Florida, but a member of this 2026 class, plays corner right now. Had been committed to West Virginia, backed off of that. And when he did, he decided he wasn't signing early. And like I said, this is a kid who's a 3-star. It wasn't like he was kind of drawing a lot of national attention when we were going through that early December window of that signing period. But you just glance at him, multi-sport athlete, track background, 6'2", 180. I mean, this is the type of guys Corey Raymond usually goes after. And now he pops for LSU, plans to enroll early, and I don't know if that means he signs in February or he kind of inks now. I don't know how that works, but adding an early enrollee where, like I said, track kid running the 100, 200, 400. I'm looking at kind of an interview we did with him, Bryce did with him for the Bengal Tiger, where he says he's at 185 right now, so he'll be getting to campus around that size. And he said, look, Coach Raymond has sort of been in touch with me from the moment they offered. And now that we're living in this world, which we've got to remember, 105 scholarships, you don't have to fill them all, but you're not limited to 85 anymore. So you can make moves like this to give yourself depth at positions you might feel good about, right? Like, we know they've got returners at corner they feel good about. We know that they've got returners at safety they feel good about. And you lose Halsey and you landed a top 10 guy out of the portal in Benefield, coming out of Boise State, who they're really high on. So it's been interesting that DB has been the one where they've sort of built that depth back up as guys hit the portal with late high school additions, instead of going the portal route where a lot of guys are kind of looking for hey, I want to start, or I need to be guaranteed to play, or here's what my number is. These guys here just like, wait, Corey Raymond's calling me and is offering, like, I'm all right. Where do I sign up? Let me know when to show up to campus. So, as I said, coming out of Orlando, Amari Peterson is in, and then they'll host another this weekend at safety, and we'll see kind of where it goes from there. But boy, the blend of everything makes this. It makes it tough for me to track. I can only imagine fans right now who are like, how do I learn who's going to be on the team next year, let alone even starting? You know what I mean?
We're all going to be doing our best to keep up with it, but it's fascinating. And it is worth mentioning, the portal closes Friday, but guys don't have to be declared or signed anywhere by Friday if they're going to leave. This to be in the portal. And Shane, we're already seeing people like today put their name in. It just feels like that market is like where there's a need, you're seeing this bump. And some guys may be looking around going, there's money to be made late in this portal cycle. So I don't even know that it's totally done as far as the total pool of players that are going to be in there. So I'd imagine the next 24 hours will probably be topsy-turvy as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, Matt, it's a few more days here. Nick Anderson at LSU goes in today. Point. That was one like we weren't even talking about. And now this influx of receivers, he goes in. So we're still watching this both ways, man, both leaving and who they get.
He's Shea Dixon on 3, the Bengal Tiger. Get him at Shea Dixon. Follow him there. Thanks, Shea. Appreciate it, man.
All right, Matt, we'll talk soon.
All right, be well. So, yeah, as Shea mentioned, Nick Anderson did enter the portal today. That's so interesting because for over at LouisianaSports.net, we had that story written. I had Hunt go back and check it on New Year's Day. 2 weeks ago, it was anticipated that Anderson was going to go in the portal. So that was one of the ones we had pre-written that he was leaving. But he hung around, and that now at the end of the portal cycle, he's gone in. LSU also announced Grant Chadwick is coming back. What I'd heard about Chadwick is his agent was shopping him. He had a massive number, clearly didn't get it, so he's coming back. So we have a competition there at punter here in the spring and throughout fall camp as well. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Earlier this week, they had the grand opening of Rouse's in Central and in Destrehan coming up on this coming Tuesday. So in 6 days, grand opening for Covington and Gramercy. So I think I'm going to be out there actually Tuesday morning in Gramercy. So shout out to our folks listening down in Gramercy. I'll be at that Rouse's for the grand opening. I believe 9 o'clock is the ribbon cutting, so hope to see y'all there. But the bottom line is 76 stores now. Lake Charles to Orange Beach, points in between. Nobody does it better than Rouse's. Family owned and operated. Got to see Donnie over there, Donnie Rouse, at the grand opening in Central on Monday. It was great to see him. Great family owned and operated business. And of course, y'all, they got king cake. So remember, a great time of year. If you got a family member, a relative, a client, maybe a friend that lives outside of the state, you want to give them a little taste of Carnival, Rouse's can ship that king cake anywhere in the continental U.S. So go to Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Rouse's, this feels like home. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. We'll go around the SEC when we come back. Taylor Calandra will be here for a little Bourbon Dictionary, talk a little booze. Got some Saints stuff I want to delve into, and we are going to continue following all of the portal comings and goings here as this continues to develop. So stay with us here. It's AFR.
After Further Review.
Hey, if you're a business owner and here in 2026, you're looking to make yourself the most productive, most profitable you can be, go to Glow Resources. Let that be your New Year's resolution, to call Glow Resources. You've heard me talk about Glow Resources for years, Jareth Knockan, his great staff, and the thousands of businesses that they have helped is so impressive. And when I say it this way, it kind of puts into perspective. At Glow Resources, like, they're going to help you find permanent solutions. They're not a temp staffing agency. You're looking to fill a position, hard to fill position permanently, they help. And they guarantee their results. They have a 96% success rate in the very, very unlikely situation that the employee they find for your business, if it doesn't work out, they'll give you a prorated refund or they'll find you a new employee for free. What do you have to lose? Maximize productivity. Let Glow Resources help. GLO, glowresources.com.
After Further Review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
I'm glad you're hanging out with us here. A couple of honors as we inch closer to baseball season. The first pitch banquet, as a matter of fact, is tomorrow for LSU baseball. A lot of people are asking about it. And Perfect Game has put out their top 100s, right? So the top 100 college freshmen, the top 100 college sophomores. So there were 6 freshmen that earned a spot on the Perfect Game top 100 list. Jack Ruckert, a freshman infielder from Calicut. He was number 14 in the country among those top 100. Mason Braun was number 20. Omar Cerna was number 28. Marcos Paz, number 33, is right-handed pitcher. And then Reagan Rickett, number 46. And then William Patrick, the outfielder, number 77. So a handful, actually 6 freshmen there on the Perfect Game top 100. And then there's actually a handful of sophomores as well, which I don't think that should come as any surprise. Certainly, I don't think it'll come as any surprise whatsoever that you've got, forgive me here. There it is. Sorry. That you've got a handful of sophomores led by Derek Curiel, who's number 1. He's the number 1 returning sophomore. William Schmidt, number 12. Kason Evans, number 14. Cooper Williams, number 45. And then Cade Arambidi, number 54. So 5 of the top 54, including the number 1 overall prospect, 3 in the top 15. So, look, a lot of people have said it and will say it. This is going to be Jay Johnson's deepest, most talented team that he's had here. 2023, you obviously had the high-level talent with Skeens and Cruz and Tommy White. A year ago, that is just one of the more remarkable coaching jobs you'll ever see. Now, you had great frontline pitching with Cade Anderson ultimately becoming what he became, leading the country in strikeouts and being the 3rd overall pick and all that stuff. But it took a long time to get that pitching staff around into form, and you got hot at the right time. So that's one that I don't think you're going to look back and see a roster that's flooded with future big leaguers. This team is one that you should be really excited about, because the expectation is always going to be you got to be in Omaha if you're LSU. It's just always going to be the expectation. This one, it's completely legitimate with the depth and the talent that Jay's got on this roster. So, going to be a fun one, man. Baseball season's right around the bend. All right, it is After Further Review. We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com, southpointvw.com. Hey, I always encourage you to make sure you check out the entire inventory. I tell you every day, if it's on the lot, it's online. You can work out your financing. You can do everything right there at the website. Go to the website. If you hit the used tab right there, you could search the inventory. And it's every vehicle that's there that's on the lot. You'll see it online. It's all makes and models, not just Volkswagens. Like, there's a 2020 Subaru Outback, a 23 Volkswagen Atlas Cross Sport. So you do have Volkswagens in the mix as well, but you got all different makes and models. Check them out at southpointvw.com, southpointvw.com. It's South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction? Okay, do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference, the Ole Miss Rebels.
Walker Howard is headed back to Ole Miss after 1 year in Lafayette. He signed a contract to return to the Rebels out of the transfer portal. Pete Nakos had it first. He has 1 season of eligibility remaining, so fourth-year junior. Spent this year with the Raging Cajuns where he was injured. Now he'll go back to Oxford.
The Texas Longhorns.
Ryan Wingo has announced a return to Texas for 2026. St. Louis native, the best players on that offense this year. 54 catches for 834 yards and 7 touchdowns. They were the 44th best passing attack in the nation. Trying to build on that. Wingo back will help.
The South Carolina Gamecocks.
This was big for Shane Beamer. Josiah Thompson is withdrawn from the transfer portal. That's their starting left tackle. So he's a native of South Carolina, had interest from a lot of schools. Georgia and Miami hosted him on visits, but ultimately decided to stay at South Carolina, where he started all 24 games in which he has appeared since earning freshman All-America honors in 2024.
The Kentucky Wildcats.
Kentucky's adding former Louisville receiver Brock Hoffman. He's a 3-star in the class of 2025. He's number 18 prospect in the state. Led Kentucky in touchdown receptions with 24 as a senior in high school, so he'll move from Louisville to Lexington.
The Missouri Tigers.
Mizzou's lost another experienced defensive back in the transfer portal. Mosi Phillips III will transfer. Spent 2 seasons at Virginia Tech before playing at Missouri this year. Played 8 games for the Tigers. 6 foot, 200-pounder. He's out of Nashville. He's got a couple of years of eligibility remaining.
The Arkansas Razorbacks.
And for a 4-star quarterback, Hank Hendricks, is reclassifying and is committed to Arkansas for 2026. So he's a 4-star prospect, number 117 in the country, 6'3", 165. So he'll now join Arkansas in May after reclassifying. All right, there you have it. That is around the SEC. Hump Day shows are brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Always a lot of things I want to remind you about, of course, at Goodwood. It's not just Goodwood. It's on Drusilla in Baton Rouge, but it's 3 businesses in one. And by the way, their online business is massive. So even if you're not in Baton Rouge, they can help. Goodwood is the men's clinic. Unique Physique or the GLP-1s, right? Semaglutide, tirzepatide, the weight loss, the peptide shots. And then Unique Aesthetics and Wellness, which, of course, is the aesthetics clinic. Laser, hair removal, laser therapy, body contouring, all that stuff. But they also have hormone replacement therapy for women at Unique Aesthetics and Wellness also. So men, women, you want to look and feel your best. Goodwood can help you do it. YourGoodwood.com, YourGoodwood.com, YourGoodwood.com. All right, it is After Further Review. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here on this Hump Day edition of AFR. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back. Taylor Calandra will be here for a little Bourbon Dictionary on AFR.
After Further Review.
I'm going to take 60 seconds to remind you about River City's 1-hour air where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001. Y'all, I always encourage you to do it, and I practice what I preach, but make sure that you call River City's 1-hour air to come out and take a look at your heater. If you didn't do it, if you haven't done it yet this season, then you need to. If you can't remember the last time you had your heater checked and tuned up and cleaned, it's beyond due. You should do this every single year. This is the standard seasonal maintenance. The same way you should get your oil changed to maintain the life and the performance and the longevity of your engine. Same thing with this machine that's keeping your home warm. And most importantly, y'all, make sure you keep your home and your family safe from hazards. River City's 1-hour air. Call them now, 752-0001.
After Further Review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit YourGoodwood.com. They're the gang with the slang.
Keep it 100. I don't know what you're talking about.
This is Bourbon Dictionary with Matt Moscona and Taylor Calandra.
I don't understand.
All right, we are wrapping up hour number 1. Glad to have you hanging out with us here. Taylor jumps aboard. How are you, dude?
I'm well, Matt. How are you?
I'm going to go home and have a celebratory glass of brown water tonight. I mean,
you going to go watch the basketball team and celebrate?
No. Husan Longstreet signed with LSU today. I'm going to celebrate that. And baseball season's almost here.
I was being absolutely facetious.
I know you were. I was just being awkward.
Oh, God. It's a travesty. Whatever.
I know. All right, what's new? Please tell me we're starting to get some good stuff in.
Well, we got something interesting in. It's Willet. It's a new release from Willet, and I think it's going to be an everyday deal. But it's a small batch bourbon, and it's Willet Purple Top.
Okay.
It's only $60. It's a 4-year. I think it's like 125, 26 proof. I can't remember the exact proof, but it was right around 125. I haven't tried it. It's interesting. It's very young, obviously. 4 years is young. And the purple top with Willet is like this very mystical thing. It's always the single barrels and the older bourbon. So this is a new thing they're doing. I'm not really sure if it's always going to be the same proof. I thought it was going to be 100 proof. I heard about it like a year ago, and I thought it was going to be 100 proof, but it's 126 proof, so it's like cash strength. I'm just a little confused, and I don't really know much about it, and I haven't got to try it yet. It is young. It's a 4-year, but It's cool. It's a Willet Purple Top. You could have one on your bar for $60.
Yeah, the Willet Purple Tops tend to be a unicorn bottle that people hunt in raffles and things like that. So, do you think it'll maybe neuter the interest a little bit having something that available?
It's I don't know. It's weird. This whole bourbon thing is weird now. I'm trying to figure out what these distilleries are doing. I had an interesting conversation with somebody from Jim Beam in the past week, and Jim Beam's closing like some manufacturing and stuff.
Okay.
And they're not the only big producers that are doing that. Jim Beam has gotten hammered with the tariffs. Like, there's a big percent. I mean, big. I say it's probably 10, 15% of their business that goes to Canada. Well, that business is like non-existent now.
Okay.
So silver linings. Maybe the U.S. market's going to start getting more harder to get stuff. I'm just kind of thinking out loud right now, but yeah, it's a weird time right now, and this Willet thing is just kind of throwing me for a loop too. So,
all right,
it's just kind of a weird time.
Well, let's get to some questions. Of course, you can email us, tweet us, or text 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Nathan said, "Hey Taylor, assuming open bar, what's your go-to wedding drink?"
Assuming an open bar, man. I don't know when the last time I've been to a wedding that didn't have an open bar.
Right.
Well, whatever. Like, if you're talking about a full open bar, I'm just going for a vodka tonic. Generally, I'm very basic at a wedding.
Yeah, I'm going with whatever the best whiskey is. Neat. I don't need mixers.
Yeah, but generally at weddings, you're just not going to get very good whiskey.
Well, no, but a lot of times, but I can have blackjack on the rocks, or a Maker's on the rocks. Even Jim Beam Black on the rocks. Like, I could do that. It's generally where I'm going to go. If not, then I'll drink a beer.
Absolutely. Yep.
All right. Let's see. Sean said, "Ask Taylor, best old fashioned mix." Said, "I like 79.2 small batch. What do you recommend?"
I'm assuming just like a pre-made. I really like the Handy and Schiller that actually has alcohol in it. It's got Buffalo Trace in it. It's a Sazerac product.
No, I think his question is he's asking what whiskey do you use. He uses 1792 small batch. I think that's what he said. Mix, but I think he's saying what whiskey do you use?
Me and you talk about this all the time. I favor rye in old fashions. I like the spice that you get from most rye. Willet rye is a great rye to throw in if you want to make a really good old fashioned.
Yeah, the drink was meant to be made with rye whiskey. So yeah, use rye whiskey. Jason asked Taylor, "Have you tried the Jack Daniel's single barrel heritage barrel toasted barrel?" That's a lot of barrels.
No, I have not.
Jack Daniel's single barrel heritage barrel toasted barrel. That's a lot of barrels.
That is a lot of barrels. No, I haven't got a chance to taste that yet. No.
I'm pretty sure it doesn't say that many barrels on the bottle.
That's a safe assumption, Matt.
Yeah, I know. I didn't say barrel that many times.
You're on top of it today.
I know. Well, I'll tell you what, because I'm scrolling through the show text line to look for questions, and I'm also realizing the amount of people that texted me because the new quarter, I'm really struggling with this. The quarterback that LSU signed today, Husan Longstreet, like, I know the man's name is Longstreet, but when I was in college, I lived on a street named Longwood in Baton Rouge, which is not far from where Calandros is on Government. So it programmed in the recesses of my brain when I'm thinking about a street named Longstreet, Longwood. So I keep saying Longwood. And
is it Longstreet or Longstreet?
No, it's Husan Longstreet is the kid's name. And I keep saying, I'm interchanging Longstreet and Longwood, almost like within the same sentence, interchangeably. And so I don't even realize I'm doing it. And then I'm looking at the text line. There's a million people like, "Bro, you are struggling with this one." I'm like, yeah. And I even have it like on my notes written down. At the top of the page, I have Longstreet, and right here I have Longwood. I have it written two different ways on my prep sheet as well, by the way.
Sounds like you got chicken cock on the brain.
And by the way, I was also talking about Bryce Underwood. So
I heard you talking about that guy earlier.
So
that's a lot of Underwoods and Longwood.
Longwood, Longstreet. Yes. So the wires are crossed in my brain. I'll figure it out eventually. But this is like when Kyle Parker and who's the kid that went to Florida State? Remember, I could never get
Jalen Brown.
I could never get these two guys' names correct. Like their freshman year in fall camp, I just could not get it correct when they were in fall camp. The wires are crossed in my brain. Anyway, all right, we got to go. Thanks, dude.
All right, Matt, I'll see you, man.
All right, that's Taylor Calandro from Calandro's. It's After Further Review. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back. We'll kick off hour number 2. Tyler Shuck is a finalist for Rookie of the Year. We'll knock that around. And a rookie at LSU gets an honor. We'll do that when we come back. AFR.
AFR.
Hey, if you haven't done it yet, make sure you get to First South Farm Credit's website. It's firstsouthland.com. firstsouthland.com. Again, firstsouthland.com. Over at First South Farm Credit, they have right now, it's a free resource called the Ultimate Recreational Land Buying Guide. It's a totally free resource that they have up at their website right now, the Ultimate Recreational Land Buying Guide. If you were even thinking about buying land, this is a great free resource for you to use to start that process. Of course, you can always talk to the great lenders over at First South Farm Credit because since 1916, for more than 100 years, they've done one thing: help Louisianians buy land. What's the one thing you do for more than 100 years? You're going to perfect it. So if you're thinking of buying land, your first call needs to be to First South Farm Credit. Log on to firstsouthland.com.